Good morning, everyone. We have we have started with capital budgeting in the last lecture, and we were in the first method of capital budgeting, which is payback period method. Now, for a revision, capital budgeting. Now, capital budgeting is a technique, it is a decision making technique which helps the business to take a decision regarding investing. So, capital budgeting is an investing decision. Now, there are two words involved in capital budgeting. Capital means from 11th standard, you have heard, capital is the amount contributed by the owner. Now, that owner may be a sole trader, single owner, they may be partners, or they may be shareholders. Now, this is the amount which is contributed by the owners, and budgeting means planning for the expenses, planning for the expenses depending on the incomes. So capital budgeting is nothing but a planning decision which is taken for making planning related to investment. So, which asset should be purchased? Which investment? Where should the money of the owners be invested? In which project should it be invested? These decisions we take with the help of capital budgeting. So, as I told you, we were in the first method of capital budgeting, which is payback period method. We have started with the first method, and let me first discuss with you all what we have already discussed where we had left in the last lecture. जहाँ पे हमने last lecture में leave किया था, वहाँ से start करते हैं. We were discussing about cash calculation of cash outflow. Now, what is cash outflow? Yeah, in the payback period method, we find now what is payback period. Also, I explain you. Payback period, matlab whatever money we have paid, when does that amount come back to us? So, for example, if I purchase a asset for rupees 5 lakh today, according to payback period method, we will come to know that when will I be able to get back the 5 lakh rupees which I have invested for the purchase of the asset. So that thing we come to understand from payback period method. For लेट मी कन्वर्ट, मतलब आज हमने जितना पैसा असेट को खरीदने के लिए यूज किया है, वो पैसा कब हमने रिकवर होगा इस पेबैक पीरियड मेथड. Now, in the payback period method, there are certain steps which will make our work easy so that we will be able to find out the payback period. Now, I have divided the payback method into some few steps. So, the first step is to calculation of cash outflow. Now, what is the cash outflow? It can also be called as initial cash investment or cash outlay. Means what is the amount which is going out of the business, that is cash outflow. So today, cash outflow, for example, I want to purchase a asset for 5 lakh, means the 5 lakh rupees will go out of the business when I purchase the asset. So the cash which is going outside is known as cash outflow. So here, in my example, 5 lakh goes outside the business. So that will be called as the cash outflow. So cash outflow is nothing but the amount which goes outside the business for making a purchase decision or for investing in any project is known as the cash outflow. So as we had discussed in the last lecture, how do we calculate the cash outflow? Cost of the asset will be given in the question. If any installation charges are given, now what do you mean by the installation charges? Installation charges, for example, if I purchase a plant, now that plant has to be installed in the factory, so that requires an additional amount which is known as installation charges, and that cost will be added with the cost of the asset. And then we have additional working capital. What do you mean by additional working capital? For example, if we have purchased a plant which requires addition in the working capital. Now, what is working capital? Suppose we are purchasing a plant which requires some special kind of material or special kind of labor. Now, working capital means day-to-day expenses for the running of the business. So, because of the purchase of this asset, we require some special material, some uh, specialized labor. So that will increase our working capital. So that will increase the cash outflow. तो इसका मतलब जब हम कोई स्पेशल टाइप का असेट खरीद रहे, प्लांट खरीद रहे, तो उसमें हमें स्पेशल मटेरियल चाहिए, स्पेशलाइज लेबर चाहिए. इससे हमारा कॉस्ट वर्किंग कैपिटल का, डे टू डे रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ कैपिटल के लिए कॉस्ट बढ़ जाएगा. सो देयर इज एन इंक्रीज इन द एडिशनल working capital. And for example, if for we already have one machinery which will be of no use when we purchase a new machinery, so if this machinery, the old machinery is of no use, what do? We sell that old machinery and we get some money. For example, I am going to purchase a machinery for 5 lakh today, but I have an old machinery which has to be sold, which is of no use now. So I will sell that machinery and I receive 50,000. So now the cost of the new machinery is 5 lakh. But because I am selling my old machinery for 50,000, I get 50,000 amount back to the business. Because of that, my cost of 5 lakh which I need to purchase the new machinery, which will be reduced, because मुझे नया मशीनरी खरीदने के लिए 5 लाख चाहिए, बट ओल्ड मशीनरी को बेच के मुझे 50,000 आ रहा है. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट, my cost of asset, my cash outflow, the money which will be going out of the business will get reduced. 5 lakh minus 50,000 to 4 lakh 50,000. So by that way, we will get our cash outflow, which was the first step. Now let us come to the second step. That is, what will be the second step? Second step is calculation of depreciation. Now, I assume all of you remember what is depreciation, because from last year and from your 11th standard, in despite only some of the students, few of them have come from science to the commerce field. Other than those, other students have heard about depreciation from your 11th standard. Now, what is depreciation? Depreciation is the reduction in the value of the asset due to use, due to the change in the time, is depreciation. Now, depreciation is an expense. Asset का value कम हो जाना is depreciation. The reduction in the value of asset is depreciation, and depreciation is a expense. Now, how to calculate depreciation? Normally, we know the rate of depreciation is given, and depreciation is calculated from the cost of the asset. So here also what we will write, cost of asset minus what we do, cost of asset say, what do we minus? We minus the scrap value of the asset. Now, what do you mean by the scrap value of the asset? Scrap value of the asset is the end value of realized from the sale of the asset. Means इसका मीनिंग भी बता देती हूँ. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई परचेज अ asset for 5 lakh rupees today, but I know that this asset has a life of 5 years. Now ये असेट आज मैंने 5 लाख में खरीदा और मुझे पता है दिस असेट कैन बी यूज्ड फॉर 5 years. नाउ आफ्टर 5 years जब मैं ये असेट को बेचने जाऊंगी तो ये असेट का लाइफ तो खत्म हो गया है. अब ये असेट को मैं स्क्रैप में ही सेल कर सकती हूँ और स्क्रैप में सेल करते वक्त जो भी मुझे पैसा मिलेगा दैट इज द स्क्रैप वैल्यू ऑफ द असेट. फॉर दिस can be set as the value of the asset when it the reaches the value, that is the end value of its life. Means the life of the value of the asset when it reaches the end of its life. Means at the scrap value is the realization value of the asset when it reaches its scrap wastage. Jab asset becomes useless, when the asset becomes useless, that time the amount what it fetches from the market is known as scrap value and the value of the asset. So हम क्या करते हैं, cost of the asset में से we less the scrap value of the asset, and the scrap value of the asset normally will be given in the question और उसको divide करते हैं from the from the estimated life of the asset. You get the depreciation. Now what is the formula for depreciation? Cost of the asset, that is suppose 5 lakh, and for example the scrap value is how much? The scrap value is 10,000 and the value of the life of the asset is 5 years. तो 5 लाख का asset है, उसका end value है 10,000. So जब वो wastage का हो जाएगा, waste मतलब उसका value कुछ भी नहीं है, the end value of the asset means we assume the asset is going to run for 5 years and 5 years खत्म होने पे asset का scrap value दिया है 10,000. So what we do, cost of the assets, from the cost of the asset we reduce the scrap value, we deduct minus the scrap value which is 10,000. So 4,90,000 we get, divide by the estimated life of the asset. So 4,90,000, 4,90,000 divide by estimated life is how much? 5. So we get the depreciation every year is 98,000. Just I can, for my example only, what will I do? Just write down the example what I have given here. You use your calci. 5 lakh is the value, cost of the asset, and scrap value for example is how much? 10,000. मीन्स जब असेट 5 साल यूज करेंगे तो उसका वैल्यू हो जाएगा 10,000. जब ये असेट को 5 years तक यूज करेंगे और उसको बेचने जाएंगे तो हमें मिलेगा सिर्फ 10,000. दैट इज द स्क्रैप वैल्यू ऑफ द असेट. नाउ डिवाइड बाय एस्टिमेटेड लाइफ मीन्स हम क्या मान रहे हैं, ये असेट 5 years चलने वाला है. सो जस्ट calculate this. 5 lakh minus 10,000 will give you 4,90,000. 4,90,000 divide by 5, you will get the answer 98,000. Are you getting this? This 98,000 is nothing but your depreciation. This 98,000 is nothing but your yearly depreciation. So this was just for the example's sake. Now let us go to the next step. What is the very important step is calculation of cash calculation of cash inflow. Now what do you mean by cash inflow? Cash inflow is ये asset खरीद के, after the purchase of the asset, after making the investment in some project, what will be the inflow of cash, what will be the profit you will receive, that is the cash inflow. Means what do you mean by cash inflow? Cash inflow means after purchase of this machinery or after investing in any project, what profit will the business receive, what will be the cash inflow. Inflow means what? Inflow means what will be the flow of the cash inside within the business is cash inflow. So we have found out what is cash outflow. Cash outflow means money going out of the business, and after the cash outflow, after spending so much of cash for something, for investment, what will be the return you are getting, what will be the profit you are getting, what is the cash inflow, is the step number 3, calculation of cash inflow. कितना पैसा आपको मिलने वाला है आफ्टर मेकिंग दिस कैश आउटफ्लो. तो हाउ टू कैलकुलेट द कैश इनफ्लो? सबसे पहले वी कैन सी द ऑल इनकम्स. सो इनकम्स लिखेंगे, वी विल नोट डाउन ऑल द इनकम्स. दिस इनकम में से वी विल लेस all cash expenses. Cash expenses. So cash expenses, you know your P&L, trading P&L account. Trading P&L account may you find incomes and expenses. So all expenses. So all the cash expenses, what do? We minus all the cash expenses. That time what you get? You get net profit before depreciation and tax. Net profit before depreciation and tax. Now, what, here I have kept two things. यहाँ पे बोला है net profit before depreciation and tax. Depreciation is very important here. तुम तो बोलोगे depreciation also is an expense, but tell me, is depreciation a cash expense? We calculate depreciation means what? Reduction in the value of the asset. Asset का value जो कम हो जाता है उसको हम depreciation बोलते हैं. But tell me, is depreciation a cash expense? Is money going out when we say depreciation? I agree depreciation is an expense. But is depreciation a cash expense? No. Depreciation, हम assume करते, we assume that there is certain reduction in the value of asset and that reduction is depreciation. But depreciation is not a cash expense. So what do we do after deducting all the cash expenses from the incomes? सबसे पहले income will be given in the question. From that income, we less all the expenses. Now, when we reduce all the cash expenses, we get net profit before depreciation and tax. Now, we reduce depreciation, less depreciation. Depreciation हमें step 2 में मिल चुका है. We have got the amount of depreciation from the step 2. So that depreciation has to be reduced. That time we get, after reducing depreciation, we get net profit before tax. So net profit before tax. So from net profit before tax, what do we reduce? From net profit before tax, we less tax, income tax. So after reducing tax, we get net profit after tax. Now the last step, till here it is clear. सबसे पहले income से we reduce all the cash expense, then we get net profit before depreciation and tax, then we reduce depreciation, we get net profit before tax, then we reduce income tax, we get net profit after tax, then we add depreciation back to the amount, net profit after tax, and we get, we are now, are you able to hear my voice? Is my voice audible? Yes? Okay, thank you. Now, after adding the cash, after adding the depreciation, we get cash inflow. I will explain you. हमने पहले depreciation क्यों minus किया, फिर बाद में क्यों add किया. I'll explain everything. But पहले let me see here. Cash inflow. I'll highlight the cash inflow. Cash inflow. So here see, income, say we reduce all cash expense, we got net profit before depreciation and tax, जिससे हमने depreciation less किया, we got net profit before tax, then we deducted depreciation, we got net profit after tax, then we again added back the depreciation and we got cash inflow. Now depreciation को बाद में add ही करना था, तो पहले less क्यों किया? That is the question which will arise in everyone's mind, that when we want to add back the depreciation, then why to deduct it in the earlier stage? Why did we first minus the depreciation and then again at the end we have added it back? What is the reason behind first deducting the depreciation and then adding it back to get the cash inflow? I will tell you. As I told you, depreciation is a non-cash expense. Means when we calculate depreciation, when we show depreciation in the profit and loss account, depreciation is an expense, but cash is not going outside the business. So depreciation is a non-cash expense. So what we do, we first deduct the depreciation. देखो for example, अगर ये income 50,000 है और ये cash expenses 5,000, So net profit before depreciation and tax will be 50,000 minus 5,000. We will get 45,000. So ये 45,000 में, for example, depreciation is 15,000. Depreciation is 15,000. So 45,000 में हमने क्या किया, 15,000 माइनस किया. So how much did we get? We get 30,000. So 50,000 का income है, cash expenses 5,000. We got net profit before depreciation and tax as how much? 45,000. With depreciation, for example, is 15,000. So we got net profit before tax as 30,000. And for example, tax is 50%, half of the profit. So 30,000 ka 50% is 15,000. So net profit after tax becomes 15,000. What I will do for your understanding, I will write down the amount here so that you will understand it clearly. That for example, suppose this is 50,000 and our cash expenses 5,000. So net profit before depreciation becomes and tax becomes 45,000. Let us assume depreciation is 15,000. So net profit before tax becomes 45,000 minus 15,000. This becomes 30,000. Now 30,000 may, if income tax is, suppose for example, at 50%, 50%. So 50% of 30,000, how much is the income tax? Income tax is 15,000. Income tax is 15,000. So 30,000 less income tax of 15,000. What will be the net profit after tax? It will be 15,000. Now we add back the depreciation, and depreciation is 15,000. Depreciation is 15,000 and we get the cash inflow as 30,000. Now हम क्यों ऐसा करते हैं, हम क्यों डेप्रिसिएशन को पहले लेस करके फिर ऐड करते हैं? वो इसलिए कि अगर हमने डेप्रिसिएशन को लेस नहीं किया होता तो हमें ये, अगर डेप्रिसिएशन नहीं होता तो हमें 45,000 पे टैक्स पे करना पड़ता, तो हमारा टैक्स ज्यादा पे करना पड़ता. इसलिए हम क्या करते हैं, टू सेव अवर टैक्स, टू सेव टैक्स वी लेस डेप्रिसिएशन फर्स्ट. अगर हमने डेप्रिसिएशन लेस नहीं किया होता तो हमें 45,000 पे टैक्स पे करना पड़ता. और अभी क्योंकि हमने डेप्रिसिएशन लेस कर दिया, वी आर पेइंग टैक्स on 30,000. So therefore our tax has been saved. We could save the tax amount because by deducting depreciation first. Depreciation is a non-cash expense. Depreciation mein cash is not going out. So what is the need to reduce depreciation? Depreciation minus करने का क्या मतलब है? Depreciation हम minus करते हैं so that we can save the tax. अगर हम 45,000 में 50% टैक्स पे करते तो टैक्स अमाउंट यहाँ पे 15,000 nahi, it would have been 22,500. To save the tax, what we have done, we have first less the depreciation and then later after paying the tax, we have added back the depreciation. इससे हमारा inflow of the cash 15,000 तो बाहर गया ही नहीं है, because depreciation is a non-cash expense. जब हम depreciation charge करते हैं, that time cash does not go out of the business. So therefore, what we do, we first reduce the depreciation and then we add back that depreciation. Now our final step is step number 4. Step 4, that is payback period. Just to understand payback period well, I have just divided the payback period into 4 steps. What is the formula for payback period? The formula for payback period is cash outflow, which is step number 1. में जो आंसर हमें आता है, cash outflow divide by cash inflow. Cash outflow divide by cash inflow. Cash outflow we have got in the step 1. Step 1 में we got cash outflow, and in the step 3 we got cash inflow. So payback period is nothing but cash outflow divide by cash inflow. So for that purpose, we should know our cash outflow also. So we calculate cash outflow, and for calculating payback period, we require cash inflow also. So we calculate cash inflow. Then to calculate payback period, what do? We divide cash outflow with cash inflow, and then we get our payback period. If for example, cash outflow is 5 lakh and cash inflow we have got 30,000. So let us see what is the payback period. 5 लाख सपोज हम मशीन खरीदते वक्त 5 लाख रुपीस पे कर रहे हैं, एंड वो मशीन से हमें जो रिटर्न आ रहे, द रिटर्न व्हाट वी आर गेटिंग फ्रॉम द मशीनरी इज 30,000. सो कैलकुलेट 5 lakh divide by 30,000, we get the amount 16.67 years. Means to recover the total amount of the machinery, that is 5 lakh agar vasool karna hai, we want our money back, we have to spend 16.67 years, matlab almost 16.67 years. When we use the machinery, we will be able to get back the amount of 5 lakh using this machinery. So this is known as payback period. How do you get the payback period? Payback period is cash outflow divide by cash inflow.